Greetings, greetings, beautiful butterflies in transition and transformation. Everybody is in transition right now. How is everybody doing today? I hope that you are feeling peaceful, productive, and prosperous. Regardless of what is going on outside of you, you are prosperous. Prosperous, these doggone braces. We are kicking off our last day of our 7-day chakra challenge, and we're dealing with the crown chakra today, Sahaswara, the color violet. Also, in some philosophies, some people consider it the color white or the color gold. It depends on what you see. When I have seen this chakra, I saw this chakra for the first time over the head of one of my students. The last 2 years when I had my own school, I began really integrating Reiki, meditation, helping them to shift paradigms and helping them to begin to think about the world and analyze the information that they were just being given, okay? And so we would go to the park. My school was in the historic district of Stone Mountain. So we would walk to the park. We would go inside one of the trails in the forest, and they would sit and we would meditate. And I would bring the music, and the kids could sit wherever they want. There was this huge tree that had an opening inside. One of the students would get in the tree. This was after I had been teaching them different methods for meditating in class. So it was a beautiful experience. And I had this one student. Remember, the population I worked with, all the students came from very religious backgrounds. Interesting, right? Considering me now, God, if they could see me now, and some of them do, they think I've lost my mind. But it's all good. So this kid was special. He always had this special energy, this calm, serene nature. But he had the glimmer of light in his eyes. Like you could look in his eyes and you could see creation. You could feel God's presence. So he was special. His name was Abdul something. I can't remember. I wish I could think of his name. But anyway, they were meditating and everybody had their eyes closed. And I opened my eyes and I saw this huge circle. Literally, it was like this size, the size of what you see my hands. And it was sitting right above his head. It was exactly this color. Exactly. And it was totally vibrant and it was opaque. It was the first time with my eyes open I saw color like that had such depth and such clarity. And it was amazing. And it was above his head. And that is what confirmed for me what I always knew about this beautiful child, that he was so connected. I remember that year during registration. This was the month of Ramadan, and all the parents had their kids fasting too for 30 days. And I remember he came in and he had lost all this weight and he had gotten tan. He was with his mom and she had a lot of kids. But this child was special, and I remember seeing him after the summer, and I just saw the light of God on that child's face. And I said, this child is special, and I always felt that way. So that later that year, when I saw that over his head, it was just confirmation. So the crown chakra is one of my favorite chakras. It is my favorite chakra. Although I work on my sacral all the time because that's my chakra that is in need of the most balance, and it's the chakra that is in need of the most loving on. That crown chakra is my favorite chakra. And you know why it's my favorite chakra? Because it is the chakra that when that energy is flowing like it needs to, you feel so connected. You have such peace. You have such inner tranquility, but you have blissfulness and joy. Blissfulness and joy are so different than happiness. Happiness is something that is motivated by externalities, things outside of yourself are what give you a sense of happiness, which is temporal because it comes and goes, and it comes and goes depending upon what's going on around you. But bliss and joy emanate from within. True peace emanates from within, and that is something that you only get when you are in total alignment with cosmic will, with the divine will. And it is something that restores order and sets right your affairs in your entire life. When your crown chakra is flowing the way it needs to, you feel safe and secure within your own being. Your creativity soars because you are freaking like acting like a direct channel. You are channeling information. You are getting downloads. Your mind is free for the divine to send whatever needs to come through. Whatever light needs to come through you, whatever it is that you need to be a vessel for, you are a vessel for without effort. Your solar plexus energy is very balanced because it's the softest that it's been, but it's very confident. The knowing is strong. You take inspired action during these times. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Your heart is so open. You feel connected to everything and everything in the universe. When they say you arrive at God in everything you do. When you see someone, you see God. When you see the grass, you see God. When you look at the trees and you hear the birds, you are with God in those moments. It's the most beautiful place to be. If you're speaking at all, you are definitely speaking your truth. If you feel the need to speak at all, because during these periods, you are speaking less and less and less. Silence is golden. If anything, you are in a constant state of prayer. It is the most amazing chakra to have activated and to have flowing. And it's the type of thing that once you have experienced it, you will forever long for it again. You forever long for that energy to feel like that. And in order to do that, you have to almost be out of the world. Even though we're supposed to be striving to be in the world and not of the world, when that energy is flowing like that, you are not hungry. Your desires are curved. You are in perfect balance. Your third eye is so open. You may hear, and you will hear creation speak to you. You will hear creation speak to you. And I mean that literally. It is the most highest place that you can ever be. So it's my favorite chakra because when that chakra's energy is balanced and flowing, everything else is flowing. And because it's flowing, and the only way it's flowing is you're totally connected to the divine. You are connected with the God energy. You are in and are the God particle. So when that energy is flowing, you are manifesting like this. You manifest so quickly because nothing is standing in the way. There's absolutely no resistance. And like I say, to have experience is to long forever. That's all I can say. To get into that space, the last time I was in that space, I fasted for 3 weeks. And I was barely eating anything. When I would break my fast, I might have a slice of an orange or a half or a quarter of an egg, a boiled egg. Literally, I had no appetite, but I was all up in here. So clearly it was a space I had never been in, but the experiences that I had cannot be expressed. The other time I was in that place was after teaching a Reiki class. I taught a level 3 master Reiki class and I did 15 attunements that weekend. Level 2. I did 15 attunements. Wait a second. Was it level master? Was it a master class? It was a level 2 class and I did 15 attunements that weekend. And when I went back into the Reiki healing room that week for the first session after that, the experience that I had in that room and what I saw come through that room in swirls of 3D light, it was like seeing a Reiki energy in full motion video. It was violet, green, and white, sparkly energy. This is a straitjacket moment. I will tell you, when you're in this space, you have straitjacket moments. You see things around people, you hear things from the creation, you hear people's thoughts, you see their thoughts, you are able to divine things that you would not be able to. You may speak to animals, literally. These are straitjacket moments because these are not the kind of things that you can tell the people that go to the clubs and the people who are slave to Kentucky Fried Chicken, all the people that didn't get the memo. Those are moments that will have people think that you have lost your mind. But they are the purest experiences that you'll ever have. And that is what this chakra is about: spirituality, pure awareness, feeling and embodying the divinity within you, your goddess or your God nature, your essence, tapping into the essential part of you, being in total alignment with cosmic will, body, mind, and spirit, being in a place of, like I said, cosmic consciousness, cosmic awareness, pure awareness, spirit, being totally connected to that. Your body almost has no right. It has rights over you at all time, but it has no, you are not enslaved to your body at that time. Everything is so balanced. If you had a problem overeating, that disappears. If you had a problem, some other type of addiction or desire or something else that you had going on that had your life out of balance, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. So this happened to me in the middle of fasting for 3 weeks. I don't know at what point it happened. I can't remember. All I know is I was fasting and I would sit right where you see me now with a chair. And I would sit in that chair for hours during the day, just doing nothing. So I had a lot of silent time as well. And it was during that time that Hidayah Reiki was born. It was during that time that I made the decision and was grounded in leaving religion. It was during that time I had my first retreat. It was during that time, for the third time in a week or two period, my huge sign fell down for my school, and instead of putting it up again, I was told the sign keeps falling because it's not supposed to be up. It's time for you to put the Hidayah Reiki sign up, which meant guidance to life force energy, guidance to universal energy, guidance to God, guidance to your divinity. And that's when that sign went up. And that's when this was born. And a year later is when I began to do this full time. So needless to say, that chakra is an amazing chakra. And there are going to be activities that I'm going to suggest on Patreon today to help you to tap into this power. I'm going to say going into hermit mode in this Virgo season is the best way to prime this pump, baby, is going into hermit mode, isolating yourself from people, but isolating yourself from technology and going within, searching for the beautiful, wondrous illumination that lies within all of being, that lies within you. That is what is the number one thing that can help you access this particular chakra. Now, we're in a great space right now to go within. We're in a great space right now to isolate. But the way many of us are isolating is adding to our physical, emotional, and mental distress. The type of isolation I'm talking about is isolation by choice, isolating in nature. Okay? Spending half days or full days at a campsite, in a cottage in the middle of a state park, at a lake, nestled within the mountains, like somewhere like a Stone Mountain or another historic state park. Going within, sitting in your yard, like I did. I was in nature all day long, for long periods during the day. It's one of the best ways. Go into hermit mode. Cut your TV off. I call that the idiot box. Disconnect from the matrix. Stop letting this matrix rule your life. I promise you, if you didn't look at the news again another day between now and all the hell that's going to be breaking loose in the next several months, you wouldn't miss a thing. Somehow or another, if all hell breaks loose, you're going to know, because you're going to be in alignment. Okay? Everything in creation is going to speak to you and lead you to what you need to know. Somebody will call you. Some other amazing synchronicity will come into your life to lead you down the path you're going to be on. Disconnect from the matrix. You're going to need to. With everything that's going to be happening, you're going to need to find that sweet spot within. You're going to need to have a direct line of communication. You're going to need to feel connected to source. And the only way to do that is to go within, or to immerse yourself in creation. All right? So this is beautiful. You will find that when you do that, whatever healing powers you have or whatever psychic gifts you have, they will become boom, 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 boom. They will be magnified. They will be accentuated. If you are a healer and you heal with your hands, people will be healed on your table in ways that they have not been healed before. People will testify that your energy was different, or maybe their hands will raise up in a session like this while they're on the table, and they won't be able to put them down, and you won't understand why. And you know what else will happen? You will find yourself crying at the beauty of creation. You will find yourself in such deep joy and bliss that tears will fall from your eyes because of the beauty of creation, because of what you are experiencing, because you become totally congruent with the highest frequency in the universe. So, what are some ways to get to this space? Prayer. Prayer, 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 and meditation. If you are an energy healer, Reiki. It puts you in a transcendental state. Fasting, like I told you, fasting, isolation, hermit mode. At least raise your vibration and fast from meat and dairy. Leave those heavier, denser foods out of your diet. Drink lots of water. Okay, when you starve the physical body and you deprive the senses of what makes them dull, all right, you put a lid on and you create a decrease in desire, whether it be desire for food, desire for sex, desire for carnal things that are of a carnal nature. You release yourself from the enslavement of physicality. Those are some of the easiest things that you can do. If you want to fast, do a water fast. If you feel like fasting is hard, always know that once you get past day 2, you're going to be on easy street. Day 3 is going to be your best day. Day 3, your energy is going to soar through the roof. You'll be in the first part of the healing crisis where your body's doing its spring cleaning. You'll be in ketosis by then, so your mind will be sharp. You will have clarity of thought. You will not be hungry anymore because your body will have tapped into its fat reserves and it will be burning fat. And burning fat is the best source of fuel for the mind. Sun gazing. I talked about sun gazing yesterday. Sun gazing, star gazing, moon gazing. For me, my favorite is sun gazing, but I also love moon gazing. But sun gazing is my thing. Okay? That is another wondrous way to do that, to raise your vibration, to connect, being out in nature and taking quiet walks. The best thing you can do is clear chaos from your life. If that chaos is your job, if that chaos is someone in your life that's bringing you dishevelment, or that's bringing you disenchantment, or that's bringing you disagreement, or that's bringing you distortion, or that's bringing you dysfunction, or that's bringing you any kind of the disses whatsoever, cut them out. Cut them out. Because the more that you raise your vibration, the more you have access to this energy. And as you begin to feel the power of the energy, you will begin to be able to tap into it more. You'll begin to be able to recognize it more. You'll know when you're in that space. You'll have periods where you'll have breakthrough periods where you will wake up in that space. Okay, or you'll have periods where you'll feel that energy and you'll be able to take advantage of it and harness it. The other major way that I'll suggest to help the energy of this area flow is gratitude. People take gratitude for granted. And I don't know the reason why. Sometimes the simplest things are the most profound things. You know how we say kiss and keep it simple, stupid? Sometimes the things that we take for granted the most as being so simplistic are the things that move us, that shift us, and that impact us on a far deeper level. So gratitude allows your world and your energy to expand. Ingratitude and disbelief in the Creator's power and your ability to access your wondrous greatness and divinity causes your world to contract. Okay? And once the world starts to contract, what is filtered through your brains, through your reticular activating system, is more and more contraction. So you experience more and more separation from your divinity, more and more separation from peace, more and more separation from the gift of God that is on constant broadcast. You become separated from grace. In short, I say you fall from grace. You literally fall from grace. We fall from grace throughout the course of the day. Every time we forget to be thankful, every time we complain about something that we have nothing to complain about, we fall from grace. Okay, which means we get cut off from God energy. We get cut off from whatever has the trees in bloom and in worship, whatever has the sun in worship shining its beautiful light and divine consciousness on all of creation. We get cut off from everything that is being broadcast our way as a mercy, and it's almost as if we fall into a state of heedlessness. We fall into a state of ignorance, similar to what happened in the garden. You can look at it that way. You can create any type of analogy that you want, but what happens is you fall into ignorance, you fall into darkness, and a veil is placed over your heart. And once that veil is placed over your heart, nothing else but God consciousness can open that back up. And you can consider God consciousness whatever you want to. It's up to you and your belief system. But what I'm saying is gratitude for the gift of life, gratitude for everything. Yesterday I found myself in a conversation with someone, and I was having to say, what is it that people are whining and complaining about? People can go back out now. People can do what they want to do. If you have chosen not to have COVID allow you to go see your mother and give her a hug, that's a choice you made. I went and gave my father a hug. The people I know are moving around and living life, and I'm living life. I do it respectfully with a mask, but I'm not going to let this crazation cause me to forget where my true power is and where where the supreme power is. All right, I'm not going to put my faith in the media and what they tell me and not put my faith in what I believe, because remember, your map of reality conforms to the set of beliefs that you hold. If you feel as though this thing is going to tear your life apart, it's going to tear your life apart, no doubt about it. If you feel like what you see on the news is your reality, that will be your reality, I promise you. As long as I don't adopt this as my reality, there's no way it can be my reality. It hasn't been up to this point. But this is what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, if you find yourself feeling that way, ask yourself, what do I have to be grateful for? Am I out there struggling to get food? Am I over in, Lebanon, where the people are in a severe food shortage right now, where they don't have shelter? Am I fighting the locusts over in the Horn of Africa? Am I dealing with the chaos in Brazil and Venezuela and all across the other parts of this country? What is it that I'm really complaining about? Can I leave my house? Do I have a roof over my head? Am I eating? Have I been told I cannot leave my house and I can't go anywhere? Do I not have access to clean air and clean water? Do I not have some food in my cabinets? What is it that you want? What is it that you want? We have everything. Even in the midst of everything that is going on right now, you can still make a conscious choice to insulate yourself, and you can still create your reality. Don't let anyone steal that from you. Why? Because now is the time to hone this. Before things escalate and get worse and more of the mass pandemonium is unleashed, you need to be building this muscle, and you need to be practicing it, because you're going to have to live by it. Almost every morning now, I'm out there on my walk. I'm getting in creation. I'm getting my sun. I make sure some point during the day I come outside, I take my shoes. My shoes are off now. I hardly ever have on shoes. I'm out in creation as much as I can be, because this is where God is. God is everywhere. But when you come out here and you look at God's creation, that's when you feel connected. When you're in your house, you're not getting vitamin D. You're surrounded by all those electromagnetic frequencies and all that stuff in your house that's causing dissonant energy in your energy field. You're watching the news, you're stressed out, you're listening to these people around you giving you all of these scares and all these things you need to be worried about, instead of just moving with God. Just be led. Allow yourself to be led. Do what sounds practical. Always stay in your lane. Always find the medium. That's how I live my life. I find the medium. Anything that takes me out of my balance, y'all, that takes me out of my happiness, is going up out of my life. I don't care what it is. You going up out of here, because guess what? I worked too long and too hard to get to where I am today. Nothing, very seldom will something disturb my peace of mind. And trust me, life is not perfect. But I make choices every day about what I'm going to entertain, who I'm going to entertain, and how I'm going to entertain it. And you should do the same. So I encourage you to work with this crown chakra energy. And I also wanted to bring up sacred and sacred geometry and fractal art. Now this is fractal art. Fractal art and sacred geometry. And this card says frequency shift. This card says manifest. Y'all know I had to put that in there because that's one of my favorite things to do. And intuition. Okay? These patterns and shapes house the blueprint, the mathematical blueprints and perfections for all of creation. They are present in everything, from the coils in your melanated strands, for those of you who are of the African diaspora, to the lotus flower, to everything in creation. Sacred geometry, octahedrons, whatever the shapes are, sacred geometry is in everything. Sacred geometry is in the way your body is designed. It is in every single thing. It has a mathematically perfect formula. Sounds, sights, everything that you can perceive of with your senses and without your senses is sacred geometry. When you draw your attention to it, look at this. I could have never done this in the past. Okay, I could have never picked up this pumpkin. Okay, but he has a purpose too. Okay, I mean, I overcame my fear of caterpillars when I was doing this work. I used to be terrified of caterpillars and snakes too. I'm working on snakes. Snakes are beautiful animals. So this is what working on my chakras and raising my vibration has gotten me to. And I'm going to be doing a video soon on the fifth dimension, helping you to prepare for the fifth dimension and helping give you some ideas of what it is that you can do to prepare, but how to experience and leverage the fifth dimension, because it exists right now. And it's a matter of consciousness. It is not a place. It is a state of mind and a state of being. So yes. So with the fractal art, meditating on it, allowing it to pull you in, it creates new synaptic networks. It activates DNA. Sacred geometry, same thing. This here, this is a what do they call this? Organite. But this here is a Sri Yantra. Okay, and this is another sacred piece of geometry to meditate on. These have light energy fields that manifest things, that aid consciousness, that aid higher resonance and frequencies and so forth. So being aware of these, participating in them, meditating on them, surrounding yourself with them in a mindful, conscious way is just another way to activate, to balance, and to keep that God energy, that Sahasrara, that crown chakra energy flowing. And based upon what this virus is called, trust me, you are right now in a space where you really need to be doing your crown chakra work. Do the work in your crown chakra. Your root is taken care of. Your sacral is taken care of. your solar plexus, heart, third eye, and throat energy taken care of. So I hope y'all have a beautiful day. I hope that you find the peace within. I hope you manifest the glory of God that is within you and that is you. I hope that you're able to tap into your inner bliss and your inner sanctuary, and that you decide to take your power back from everything that has been a drain in your life and everything that will continue to be a drain. This is work, but it's the best kind of work you're going to ever do. It's the type of work that pays off and you continually get the return on your investment again and again and again and again and again. It's like the gift that just keeps giving. So do what you need to do to be able to tap into this chakra. Like I said, if you want the quickest, fastest way to do it, fast. Just fast. And when you get to day 3, you're going to elevate, and peace and tranquility is going to descend upon you. And suddenly everything will be in perspective. You will be so clear. You will not be ruled by your physical desires, and your spirit will have an opportunity to soar. So I see you on Patreon for the day's activities. Have a beautiful, wondrous, prosperous, and productive day. If you have not liked, subscribed, shared, or commented, make sure you do so with this video, and definitely don't let yourself down. Try one of these activities as soon as you can. Don't forget to subscribe.